What's up, everyone? Father here with another exciting backyard baseball video here in season 9 of our Reddit Backyard Baseball League. The Orioles were defeated in week 1 thanks to a nice performance by T-Boz and his Rangers. And I didn't get to see that game. I don't know if he recorded it or not, so not sure exactly what happened there, but a little concerning for my defense that he was able to score so many runs. Today, in real life, both the Orioles and my favorite soccer team, Everton, lost their games today, so could be a bad omen, but maybe we'll be able to rise above that and earn some glory for the Orioles going into game number 2, like I said, and we're playing at the Angels, which is Bobby, coached by Bobby, and I believe they are at Parks Department. Yep, so this is our squad, and this should be our defense. No changes, there's no power-ups, or there's no good days or bad days, sorry. So no changes to attempt to make. I think I'm sticking with this batting order for now. I still haven't quite decided if I like this or not, but hopefully with some of our power bats we will, hit some home runs here at Parks and score a lot of runs. The Angels defense is headlined by Raul Mondesi behind the plate. We're going to have Rawls clone behind the plate as well. Looks like Canseco on the mound, isn't it? Cool choice. Definitely a tall player, and should theoretically swap most likely with Christina Beatty over at first base, the Frank Thomas clone. And that's a pretty good defensive setup there. The pitcher after that, if I even get there, is somewhat of a question, but for the most part, we're going to try to take advantage of like the bad arm of Olga and Beatty being slow at first base, and Gary out in right field if possible. So that's kind of our main objectives there. We're going to try to keep the ball away from Juan Gonzalez. He's a good hitter and good arm, and just good all-around player. It's just a solid team that Bobby has put together here. Lots of pros and pro clones and that kind of thing. Solid players all around, I think. Good arm at third base, so can't really take advantage of that, but maybe if we can place the ball in the right spot, it will take too long for Butch to get to said ball, and we'll get away with some stuff in that case, but I'm not sure if I want to test that out. Yeah, we're probably going to test that out. So leading off with our 10-speed, Kathy Wolf. Not the fastest of the fast, but faster than any of the 9 speeds. I don't remember what the tier levels are called in our kind of newfangled system, but she's quite fast if I can place the ball well. So that one pretty close to Butch, but not close enough, and it kind of bounces around him. And that gets Kathy on base with a single to start off the game. And that's all we really need, theoretically, with Jane up after her. We're going to be swinging power, at least for the first couple pitches here. That hook ended up being a pretty good pitch to hit, but I didn't feel like offering at that one. Jane does not get all of that one. We are going to end up getting both her and Kathy to base safely thanks to some kind of fielding miscues by the Angels. Christina and Olga kind of fighting over the ball. With actual speed on base, I don't mind trying a line drive swing here with Barbara. So that was unfortunate. Ooh, okay. Barba, not really a line drive there, went right back to Jose, but it took him long enough to throw it to first. I think Christina may have not been quite on the base. So thankfully got everybody back safely. No double play turned. And I want to keep those runners on base for Mark McGuire in particular here. Takes the first pitch low for a ball, and the second pitch does catch the top part of the strike zone. So 1-1. It's actually a Bash Brothers matchup, if you're familiar with that. From real life, Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco. I think we're both playing on the A's at the time, and in this game, neither of them play for the A's anymore. But dang it. Thought that one was a little low, but I think it just barely caught the bottom part of the strike zone. It's unfortunate with Mark having a nice opportunity there with runners on, but Jose was pitching very carefully to him. And continues that with this first pitch to Jessica, but this one actually was a little bit low. And yeah, I think I'm going power in this situation. Jessica, as Raul's clone, has a good amount of power. Though for now, Jose seems to have lost the strike zone. Going to a 3-0 count, and I'm going to take that pitch as well. Thought it might be a strike, but prefer to take on 3-0 when it makes some amount of sense anyways. Jessica hits that ball hard. It's stopped by Jose, but he does not actually catch it, and everybody reaches safely, but Jessica was my last of a string of power hitters. So that brings up Wing Quan, and we do have pretty much all speed on the bases at least, but we are going to have to get a little lucky with wherever this line drive from Wing goes, if we can even make contact, of course. That was not quite what we wanted, and Raul does in fact make the catch at catcher. Dang it. So, made not really good contact, a lot of kind of dinky pop-ups and stuff. And got bases loaded, but no runs will score for the Orioles in the first. Olga is the leadoff batter for these AI Angels, and it's a weak ground ball right back to Nancy on the first pitch, and she is quickly retired. More dangerous to face, or it is more dangerous to be facing Mr. Mondesi here, but not left hook, right hook. Get him with a slow ball for the first strike, and he hits that one a mile. Dang it. Still an Angels curse, I guess. They did well against me with a different manager and on a different version last season, but man, crushed by Raul Mondesi despite a pretty good location, I thought, on that hook. And it goes 414 feet. Ominous start, to say the least. So really counting on Nancy to not give up a ton of home runs. Juan Gonzalez up next, similar situation where I'm going to be trying to pitch carefully, but you never know what's going to happen. At least I am convinced you never really know what's going to happen. That ball didn't really look like it ended up where I was aiming it, but it was enough to get Juan looking, but we're now also scared of Jose Canseco. Not on that swing, though. Nancy! Alright, well, kind of an awkward sequence of events, but Jose kept going after Nancy and Jessica ran into each other close to the plate, so he would have been safe at first, but took off towards second. I got him in a brief rundown, but I was trying to keep that as brief as possible to not intentionally deplete stamina or anything like that. And we do retire Jose and get out of the inning with just the 1 run allowed. And that brings up Uma Morris to lead things off here in the top of the second. She takes a hook low for strike 1. That looked like about the pitch I wanted on the outside part of the strike zone, maybe a little low, but Uma does just foul it off. Hits that ball hard out towards left field, and it is going to get down. And a pretty good throw in from Alexis, so Uma is going to stop at first. Still batting 1,100, perfect for the season. So runner on first for Nancy, and she's going to take that pitch high for ball number 1. No real chance for most of the team to steal, but especially for Uma with Raw behind the plate. Nice pitch from Jose there, and then I took in the corner for a strike. So 1-1 the count. Nancy hits that ball pretty hard, but not out. It's going to go right to Alexa, and she does make the catch. You're going to have a hard time getting both Cindy to reach base and Uma to also get to second base safely. But we'll see if we can pull off something weird. Cindy was not able to make it to first. She did successfully advance Uma over to second. Got pretty close there. Just a little too close to Rawl, even on a what's supposed to be a line drive swing. Here we're going to try to get Kathy on, and that's going closer to Jose than I would have wanted. But with a little sprinting and just the fact that Beatty was not ready for it over at first, and Kathy does reach base. So we've got Kathy and Cindy on, and Jane Davis at the plate. Jane's going to take that first pitch for a ball as Jose tries to throw at her head, get her back off the plate a bit. That hook was basically never in the strike zone for its entire path to the plate. So second ball thrown to Jane. That pitch looked pretty good, but whiffed at it a little bit there. A little high in the strike zone. Jane drives that one hard out towards center, but not far enough, and it's caught by Juan Gonzalez. Frustrating once again with multiple runners on base, but no runs scored. And we'll have Barbara, Mark, and Jessica up in the top of the third. I am not the home team this game. Please be foul. All right. Alexis crushes the ball, but it does in fact go foul. And I'm not going to throw that same pitch again, but she always could just decide to crush something else. Instead, she bunts, and Nancy fields and throws to Mark for the out. Marty Cardova at the plate. Pretty solid player in his own right. Not necessarily known as an offensive juggernaut, but, you know, that doesn't always matter. I prefer to be as careful as I can. But I also don't love getting a ton of strikeouts either. So he does actually just make contact. Going to go right to Barbara, who reads it well, and makes the play at first base to Mark McGuire. So 2 outs in the inning and nobody on, and I'm very glad about that with Mr. Gary Allen at the plate. Does not completely crush the ball. He does launch it off of... Go pick the ball up, Nancy. Launches it off of Barbara. By the time anyone was going to get to that ball, it was too late to make a play at first. So we are going to let Gary have his single and be grateful it wasn't worse, though, you know, we would have obviously preferred to have just gotten out of the inning there. Beatty sitting in an open stance, and I'm going to try to hook on the opposite side, but she did not fall for that either, and it looks like she's also going to reach base safely after it bounces off of Barbara. So back-to-back somewhat errors by Barbara at shortstop. That was a tough catch to make going back like that. Thankfully, despite the 2 runners on, Kathy makes a nice catch over at third base, and we get out of there without further lasting damage done. There we've got Barbara up to lead off, as I said, and we're going to try to get her on base to have somebody on for Mark, and that is not going to happen because she hit a grounder instead of a line drive, and I went right to Butch, and he launched it across the diamond to get her out at first. Oy. And Mark just hits a high pop-up that is not going to be caught, and he actually will reach first base safely, thanks to some miscommunication between Jose on the mound and Raul behind the plate. Does bring up Jessica with a chance here. She does almost the exact same thing, but closer to Raul. It is caught by Raul. Mark does get back, but we have Wing Quan up once again with Mark stuck on base. I'm just a little bit off on the timing, or I don't know. Don't know. But game is not going particularly well right now. Probably just swinging at too many pitches that aren't actually worth swinging at. As Mark pretty handily gets gunned out at second by Raul to see there. And we've got an okay number of hits, but that's not even very impressive, and obviously no runs on the board. At least we get an easy first out to this inning once again with Olga choosing to bunt it to Jessica. Retire Olga pretty handily. Brings up Raul, who don't really know what to throw to him, I mean, since kind of outside right hook is what he crushed last time. I don't really want him to crush the ball again, if possible. We will take a strikeout in this case, despite the kind of disadvantages it can offer. It brings up Juan Gonzalez, 2 outs and nobody on. Fouls off first pitch behind home plate. Nancy's getting a little tired and it's going to be up next inning. Looks like we're about to finish this inning off, though, with a little dribbler that Jessica Fields guns to Mark to retire at Juan. He is Gonzalez from this inning. Okay, that was stupid. Whatever. Y'all listening to me, I get to make stupid jokes occasionally. Leading off top of the 4th with Uma Morris. That's a slow-mo from Jose that I maybe would have been able to time right, but there's no real incentive for me to swing at power-up pitches, so I did not. That one I think was going to get called a strike no matter what, but it's a tough pitch to hit, so Uma goes to 2 strikes on her. It's a line drive towering out towards left field. Looks like it's going to get caught. Does not get caught by Alexis. We are just hitting the ball in the air today. And Uma got lucky to reach base safely in that case. So runner on, Nancy Chin at the plate. That's the pitch we're looking for on the outside corner, but she fouls it back behind the plate, unfortunately. Same thing with pretty much the same pitch, pretty much the same spot. Must have been pretty much the same timing. Same thing once again. Keep fouling off these hooks. She's got to swing at that, and just barely fouls it off. 0-2, choked up to line drive swing. I'm just going to try to get a little luck here. That one looked low and was low from Jose. Worked her way to a 1-2 count. That one may have been a ball, but Nancy was able to foul it off as well. Fouls off a slow ball, pretty much right down the middle of the plate. Still at 1-2. That one just barely inside. I thought it was risky, and it was, but not good to get away with it. Nancy hits that one hard out towards left field. It's a single, and we got Uma all the way around to third, just barely beating the throw from Marty. Tired her out some. I think we're going to go ahead and send Nancy here. Well, immediately makes a throw, so no real chance there. And no being allowed to steal now. Cindy hits that one a lot closer to Jose than I would have liked. Makes a weak throw to second, but it was enough. Gonna once again try a steal. And Kathy's actually just going to swing at that. And we're going to load up the bases for Jane Davis, which is what we're trying to do here. And just gotta follow through. Nice job reaching by Kathy. Well, really everyone but Cindy, who just got credit for a hit, but really didn't deserve a hit. Jane takes the first two pitches for balls, so 2-0 is the count. Bases loaded, as said, and one out in the inning. Is going to take that pitch. Does get called a strike on the low and outside corner, but wasn't particularly interested in swinging at it. Uh-oh. Not a good piece of hitting by Jane there, but it took too long for anyone to really get to the ball. And Uma, despite being slow, with some boosting, was able to make it to home successfully. Barbara continues her struggles at the plate today and pops into an infield fly immediately there. So Mark McGuire versus Jose Canseco once again. I think with bases loaded once again. This is your chance to be a hero, Mark, as he is at a 1-1 count right now. Jose is very scared of Mark and is pitching around the strike zone and keeping it low for the most part. Can't blame him. Alright, that one misses low as well. We don't really mind a walk here with Jessica up next. We prefer a pitch we can drive. Looks like we're going to get a walk. Gotta score runs when you can, so we will take that. Base is still loaded. Taking our first lead of this game. Kind of a sad state of affairs. Base is loaded for Jessica, and AI is going to make a swap to Beatty. Christina Beatty. Whoa, that pitch does catch the top of the strike zone. Looked like it was miles high coming out of her hand. Must be the Frank Thomas effect. Jessica hits that one high, but not deep enough. And Alexis makes the catch out in left field. Quite unfortunate. Up to 11 hits and only 2 runs in this game. Not a good conversion rate at all. Our power hitters are really letting us down. Nancy's pitch there also really letting us down. She just randomly decided to miss well outside. And just barely misses outside with that hook. So Jose, not very difficultly, worked his way to a 2-1, now 2-2 count. And we're going for the strikeout. I really don't want to pitch well to Jose. Do get a strikeout there. We'd love some juice for Nancy. She's got a good chance of coming up to bat next inning. Nope. Still no juice, and still dangerous batters to try to pitch around. Nice catch by Mark McGuire over at first base. Kind of fielded that one right in front of Wing at second, but did well to keep us going. Or to keep us out of trouble, I guess I should say. Marty Cordova back at the plate. I'm going to try to save a little bit of juice here with Nancy. Locate some slow balls. Not that one. Goodness. That's her second, wild pitch in this inning. Marty watches a slow ball pretty close to the middle of the strike zone, just go right by him. So, continue to, since that 1 home run, have continued to prevent more AI runs, but we are struggling to score ourselves. Wayne Kwan leading off for us this inning, and fouls off the first pitch for a strike. He is 0 for 2 so far, and that pitch catches the top of the strike zone, so goes to 0-2 count. That one I think is low, and it is. Definitely throwing me off with the release point here from Christina. That's going to be an out. Yeah. Wing does not get quite enough of the ball, and Rawls able to field it well. These weak hitters are really giving me a headache. Uma hits that ball well, but Alexis does get over to it, but makes a stronger throw in this time. So Uma is going to stay at first base. Continues to always get on base, but we really need her to be hitting home runs and stuff. Nancy hits that one hard out towards Alexis. She once again is not able to make the catch, and everyone does reach base safely, but we're once again in this kind of dead part of the lineup with no power. We're going to have Cindy followed by Kathy. Christina's first pitch there does catch the bottom of the strike zone for strike number 1 on Cindy. That one looks like actually low, and it is. So best case here would be Cindy drawing a walk and Kathy coming up. No, not going to draw a walk, and this might be a double play ball. Gosh dang it. Stupid everything this game, man. So many runners on base and just cannot drive anybody in. The ordering hasn't been right. Everything's just been just not right. I don't know what to do about it, but it looks like we're going to be limping across the finish line at best as we perform the traditional catcher not actually catching the short pop-up routine. I guess I should have done something better manually. And now they have a power-up to use. We're going to fire off this juice with Nancy just to try to get lucky, but yeah, undergrounder from Christina is probably, yeah, going to be a ground rule double. If they have another undergrounder, then we're going to be losing after this current at-bat. Yep. Looks like probably still losing, thanks to Jane out in the outfield. Yeah, I gunned it home. Wasn't really much point. Jessica guns it back to second and does get Butch trying to stretch that into a double. But we are now losing to the AI Angels. A really rough game for me. As this defense continues to fall apart and does not appear to be very strong from my perspective at least. Maybe the AI does a better job than I do. They don't appear to have... Oh my god. Fudge. Well, they don't appear to have another undergrounder, but I forgot it was on first base, and did not manage to throw Olga at second, and by throwing the ball around, ended up allowing both Olga and Rawl to advance. So runners on second and third for Juan Gonzalez, just like we drew it up. And we are going to be at the top of our order next inning, but I should have just taken an out at home, but we just did that quickly enough to turn two and not give up a run. Good throw by Mark to get the ball home and stop even more of a disaster from happening and get us out of that stupid half of the inning. And now we need to get some people on base and score some runs. Matthew does about what we want grounder-wise, but pulls that one foul. Fouls off the second one, pretty close to the middle of the strike zone as well, so it goes to 0-2. Does at least make contact there, and with a little bit of misplay and a little bit of luck in general, she does reach first base successfully. So this is still just the top of the sixth, so there's no bonus at this point anyways, but let's make something happen. There we go! Thank goodness. Okay. Jane crushes one with Kathy on base. Give us the lead back at the very least here. 466 feet out towards left center. Finally hit something that Alexis in left couldn't get to. Not that she's been like perfectly consistent in actually catching the ball, but she does cover a good amount of ground out there in left field, which is mostly what you want. Barbara up at the plate now. 0 for 3 today is pretty disappointing from her. Let's see if she can make an actual good line drive contact. Nope, on the ground ball. Fielded pretty much immediately by Marty and makes the throw over to first. Man, I was sprinting, but maybe not quite enough. I don't know what the answer was, but I got her out by just a step. Barbara, unfortunately, 0 for 4 today. And nobody on base with Mark McGuire up here is another unfortunate situation. It's taken first 2 pitches for balls, so a 2-0 count. Drew a walk his last time up as well. Really don't want him just sitting on first base with Wing at the plate. but that would have been better than getting him out, which is what's actually going to happen. Thank you. Oh, I forgot it was Jessica up next, too. Oh, yeah, I screwed that up. What am I doing? Taking a lot of pitches and not having it work out very well is the best answer to that. Jessica does hit that one high and in the air, but right at Gary in right field, and he makes the catch. Well, we got a 1-run lead on 15 hits, and just lots of not good play in general. And we're going to try to end it so I don't have to play extra innings, which I think is what I had to do against the Angels last season. Go foul. Okay. And we probably could have thrown him out anyways, but really would just prefer to not let anybody get on base. Nice strikeout pitch by Nancy there. Just want to get out of this with some shred of dignity for not losing to the AI and not having to play extra innings, but we got some stuff to work on, I guess. We were getting people on base for the most part, but couldn't clear those bases. Couldn't have our power hitters actually be the ones, powering. Marty hits one out to Barbara, and it is going to bounce off her head, but Marty is going to try to stretch it into a double. And that is not going to work out as he intended. And we do, therefore, win by 1. That ain't going to be good enough in this backyard baseball league. Man, that was rough. Lots of hits, but no power until Jane finally came through for us there at the end with a home run to get us the win. But man, multiple people with no hits. Mark and Jessica, big time struggles as well. Cindy, but we mostly expect that. And she was kind of just screwed by Nancy and Uma being stuck on base ahead of her. I don't know what this means lineup-wise. It's a frustrating game. I think there's plenty of talent on this team, but frustrating game. Just barely escaping with some shred of dignity. Alright, sorry if you sat through that, but thanks, I guess, if you did. And see y'all for game number 3.